Welcome back to
our true crime
podcast, episode 1. Anyways, welcome back. Like I said, this is Rob, Dr. Rob.
Dr. Rob, yo!
Captain Fruity Crunch. Now, this is an off-brand version, Fruity Crunch. Fruity Crunch.
Anyway. You know, Dr. Rob,
let's get into it. Today, in today's podcast, what are we talking about?
Macbeth.
Shakespeare, Macbeth. Okay. Let's get into it. So today we got our hair like this anyways.
I hope you like it.
We're going to delve into the world's most intriguing crimes of Macbeth. Both real and fictional usually, but today it's fictional. And we're going to take a trip into the eerie world of betrayal and murder set in the 11th century of Scotland. Right? Okay. But is it just a play about a tragic hero? Or are we looking at the real crimes of a man who destroyed everything around him for power? We'll break it down with the help of our special guest, like I introduced in the beginning.
Dr. Rob!
Dr. Rob! Okay. Let's get into it. A Shakespearean scholar who's here to shed some light on Macbeth's descent into madness. Welcome.
He's my dog.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Macbeth is one of Shakespeare's darkest plays, and it's fascinating to discuss its implications, especially when we consider it from like a modern true crime perspective.
Right. All right. Let's delve into the first scene of Macbeth.
Beware of Macbeth!
No man born from woman shall harm Macbeth.
He will not be vanquished until Burnham Wood shall come to this.
Alright, we're back. We're going to delve into the first scene of Macbeth.
The prophecy.
We begin our story on a misty battlefield. Macbeth, a loyal soldier to King Duncan, which I mean you probably all heard the story, but
If you haven't, go read it.
yeah. But anyways, you don't even have to read it. We're going to explain it all.
It would help if you read it, though.
No, because we're going to explain it. Anyways.
Tomato.
A loyal soldier to King Duncan has just defeated invading forces. Then, he and his companion Banquo meet 3 witches who give him a chilling prophecy. 1. He will become king. This prophecy seems to awaken something inside Macbeth. But what exactly? Dr. Rob, how important is this prophecy in setting the stage for Macbeth's downfall?
Well, the witch's prophecy is a spark that ignites Macbeth's ambition. But it's not just about hearing these words. Macbeth was already a highly ambitious man. What the witches do is give true crime... to give him a glance into what could be, and that glimpse is enough to make him question everything. They plant a seed of possibility that grows into something far more dangerous.
So, the prophecy doesn't create his ambition. It just unleashes it. But once he's given this vision of becoming king, it seems like nothing will stop him. When King Duncan names Macbeth Thane of Cawdor, it seems like fate is on his side.
Exactly. It's as though the universe is aligning with the prophecy, confirming that Macbeth's ascent is inevitable, and Macbeth starts to see the throne as his destiny, rather than something he has to work for. The problem is, he doesn't question the morality of it.
And that's where things get dark. Macbeth goes home and shares the prophecy with his wife, Lady Macbeth, who we know is an ambitious and ruthless character in her own right. Dr. Rob, what role does Lady Macbeth play in Macbeth's descent into murder?
Lady Macbeth is critical to Macbeth's actions. She pushes him, manipulates him, and questions his masculinity to get him to do what she wants. She knows he's capable of great things, but she also recognizes his hesitation to moral compass. She, in a sense, forces him to abandon that compass. She pushes him over the edge, unfortunately.
Yep. Anyways.
think he's dead.
Part 2.
The first murder. Lady Macbeth convinces Macbeth to murder King Duncan, and in doing so, he takes the first step down a path from which there's no return. The murder itself is planned meticulously. They frame the guards to make it look like they're the killers. Like literally, guard, Duncan, like not even looking, like they have no idea. And Macbeth comes out of nowhere and with his daggers, and he just exactly, and they have no idea.
No idea.
Until the next morning. Anyways, but as Macbeth murders Duncan, something happens to him. He's not just committing a crime; he's plunging himself into guilt. Dr. Rob, is this the turning point where Macbeth becomes more than just a man of ambition? When does he become a criminal?
That's an excellent question. The moment he kills Duncan, Macbeth crosses a line that can't be uncrossed. This isn't just a political ambition anymore. It's bloodshed.
Yes. Okay.
And his guilt immediately consumes him. This is the moment where ambition overtakes morality, and he's now a criminal in both the literal and physiological sense. His actions, from here on out, are driven by fear, paranoia, and guilt.
Yes, exactly. Macbeth's guilt leads him to one of the most famous lines in Shakespeare, with all great Neptune's oceans washed his blood clean from my hands. This murder, as we see, becomes an irreversible crime, and Macbeth spirals from there. Come, there's an extra seat over here.
There's nobody. Don't play these bloody games with me!
Gentlemen, calm down. Your Highness is just not well. My husband gets like this sometimes. He's not well.
Please, just look right there!
See that goes.
You see someone there?
What? Has your foolishness paralyzed you completely?
Well, back in my day, we didn't just used to talk about people. That's it. Well, back in my day, we didn't used to talk bad on somebody's presence just because they're not here.
There. Here.
Don't touch me!
Part 3.
The paranoia and Banquo's murder.
Macbeth's guilt doesn't let him rest. He grows paranoid, especially when Banquo, his friend, becomes a threat in his eyes because of the witch's prophecy and about Banquo's heirs. In a shocking twist, Macbeth decides to have Banquo murdered, which makes him a killer of both a king and a friend.
Banquo's murder is significant because it shows that Macbeth's fear of losing the throne outweighs any sense of loyalty or morality for literally anybody. He starts to eliminate all those who pose a threat to his reign, regardless of their relationship with him. He kills Banquo not only because of any personal animosity, but because Banquo represents the future of Macbeth and is too afraid to face it.
Exactly. And the way Macbeth justifies it to himself, that it's for the greater good of securing the throne, feels like the mindset of many historical criminals. He doesn't see himself as a villain. In his mind, he's merely doing what needs to be done. Which, in most real people's senses, like, that doesn't sound right?
You're crazy!
Kill someone? Like, that's
You're crazy!
Crazy.
You need to just kill him already. What are you, a coward? You're certainly not a man.
Please stop. I am a man. Someone who wants to do something like that is not a man at all. What if we fail?
We can't fail. Duncan is literally deep into slumber.
And after, we could just blame it on the servants. That everybody will think they're the culprits.
Who could think it could happen any other way? We'll be crying very loud when we hear Duncan is dead.
Okay, I'll do it. Now, go pretend to be a friendly hostess. Part 4.
that ascends into madness.
As the bodies pile up, Macbeth becomes more unhinged. At a banquet, he's haunted by Banquo's ghost, unable to control his paranoia. His psychological state deteriorates rapidly, and Lady Macbeth, too, starts to suffer from the guilt of their crimes.
Macbeth's mental breakdown is one of the most tragic parts of the play. He's no longer the man he was at the beginning. The crimes he committed have eaten away at his sanity, and the ghost of Banquo symbolizes his deep sense of guilt. But Macbeth can't stop. He's trapped in his own mind and the consequences of his actions.
It's interesting how their initial crimes, which felt like calculated political moves, now have psychological consequences. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are both consumed by the blood on their own hands. And all they want to do is get rid of that feeling of guilt.
By doing wrong.
It's not time to grieve. I need to be ready for war. I need to put up the banners! Next up, part 5.
The final act and fall.
In the final act, Macbeth learns that no one is truly invincible. Because like in one of the prophecies, it was no one born from a woman can harm. And everybody's born from a woman, so he thought, oh, well, he can't hurt me then.
Because he's born from a woman.
Exactly. He faces Macduff in battle and learns that Macduff was not born of a woman in his usual way. He was delivered by
C-section.
making him the one person who can kill Macbeth. Macbeth's reign is over, and he dies a tragic, violent death. And we're going to demonstrate how that happened.
She's dead, by the way. Macbeth is dead. Yeah, Macbeth?
Died.
Gone. Violently.
Yes.
If you couldn't tell.
And I'm hoping you got your popcorn, because that was a pretty good show.
Yeah. It's fitting that Macbeth dies at the hands of Macduff. The moment of realization for Macbeth that he's no longer in control of his fate is incredibly powerful. His death, while tragic, is inevitable consequence of his choices.
So, to wrap up, we see a man who was once a loyal warrior, consumed by his ambition and driven to commit murder after murder. Macbeth's story is a powerful reminder of how unchecked ambition can lead to self-destruction. Dr. Rob, any final thoughts on why Macbeth is such a compelling figure?
Macbeth is compelling because he's so human. His ambition, guilt, and paranoia are things we can all relate to.
Right.
Sadly. What makes him tragic is how, despite his many crimes, we see his humanity slip away as he becomes more consumed by the consequences of his actions. He's not a villain in the traditional sense. Mm-hmm. He's a man who spirals into madness.
Right. And in one of the scenes of Macbeth, you see the three witches again with the prophecy, and you see the child of Lady Macbeth, like the one that was lost, like died, and then you see another child, and then you see an empty witch. And because there's an empty witch is because that is for Lady Macbeth and Macbeth. It is, or it could be for their other child. But ultimately, the things that Macbeth and Lady Macbeth did were terrible. But at the end of the day, ultimately, they got what they deserved. But anyways,
Absolutely.
thank you so much, Dr. Rob, for helping us unravel the mystery of Macbeth's descent into crime and madness. And thank you, listeners, for joining us on this dark journey into the world of Shakespeare's most tragic anti-hero.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Rob out.
See ya. I'm out.